so I thought I would do a products worth the hype video because seems to be one that I haven't really done yet. The thing I think is worth the hype is foundation, and this is something that like everyone on YouTube and their mom has, and I'm sure most people who watch YouTube videos have either tried it or have it. And it is the Nourish Sheer Glow foundation, and mine is in the lightest shade, light 1 Siberia. It's a very nice pale shade, and part of the reason I like it so much is because of the shade, because it is very pale, but it's quite yellow. It's probably like slightly too yellow for my skin, or it's more yellow than my skin, but I'm very pale, but on balance, I have more yellow in my skin, and it's very hard to find foundations that are pale that aren't like pink, some shade of pink. They usually think that, you know, if you're pale, you've got pink skin, and you know, not all of us do. I also really like the finish. It gives you a nice whack of coverage, but it doesn't look thick or cakey. It gives you this sort of like almost airbrushed kind of look. It's kind of a very, very dense in pigment, but it gives like a specific look. It kind of reminds me of the Makeup Forever HD. I talked about it in my favourite foundations video, so I won't talk about it too much. But it also lasts pretty well on the skin during the day. It doesn't fade, it doesn't go like patchy or anything like that. It kind of ages gracefully, wears off gracefully, so I really like that, and I definitely think that that's worth the hype. The next thing I think is worth the hype is a micellar solution, and not just any micellar solution, it is the L'Oreal one. I've heard a lot of people who bought Bioderma talking about this one and saying that they prefer it. I didn't really get the whole Bioderma thing. It didn't sound like something that would take my eye makeup off. You know, this isn't something that I use for eye makeup to remove eye makeup or to remove makeup at all, but I don't know, a lot of people kind of touted this as something that would remove your makeup, and that's kind of how you're supposed to use it, so didn't really know where it would have fit into my makeup routine or my skincare routine, I guess. But I really like using this to kind of refresh my face in the morning. And usually what I do in the morning is before I got this, I'd get like a cotton pad, and I'd just kind of wet it with cold water, wring it out, and just kind of wipe it across like my eyes and my face, just to kind of get rid of any sort of oil that had kind of accumulated on my face during the night, or remove any sort of stray foundation that I hadn't gotten the night before. I really like this. I just keep it on my dresser, and I just kind of wet a cotton pad with this, and and I just sweep it across my face and my eyes before I do my makeup, and I just find that it gives me just a better base, and kind of shrinks pores, and you know. I think the reason I really like this is because it removes dirt on your face you didn't know was there. Like you could take this across like clean skin that you'd cleansed, or you know, if you've been walking around for a few hours and you didn't have anything on your skin, you'd probably find that you did have dirt on your face you didn't know was there. So that's why I like this. L'Oreal Vive Extraordinary Oil. I just take a couple pumps of this in my hand, like usually 3 pumps for this side of my hair, 3 or 4 pumps for this side of my hair, and 2 or 3 pumps for this side of my hair, because I have like less hair on this side because I have an uneven parting, like that. So yeah, I just distribute it through my hair. When it's damp, like I generally focus to like the lengths and the ends, but I do kind of pop a little bit here because I do tend to get a lot of like hair breakage happens up here, you know, when you're brushing your hair. So um, it just kind of softens the hair, makes it easier to style. It doesn't give it like I thought like in the beginning I was like, oh no, an oil like that definitely won't work for me. You know, make my hair too slippy. You know, I don't have enough volume in my hair anyway as it is. But it definitely doesn't do that. It just kind of makes your hair softer and feel less frazzled and make it easier to style. So really, really, really like this, and it also smells really good as well. It smells like, I don't know, it smells kind of like vanilla-y. I think the one drawback to this is the fact that it has like such a heavy glass bottle though. That's the only thing I don't like. So the next thing I really, really, really like is a brush. And I've talked about this a couple times before, and it is the infamous Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. It just looks like this. It's one of those dense kind of almost kabuki-like brushes. And I know a lot of people for ages were kind of raving about this brush and brushes like these, like the Sigma ones and stuff like that. And people were saying that they were like the best thing for applying foundation. And in general, I do stick to like flat foundation brushes for applying most of my foundations. But I have found that with some foundations that just kind of I can't make work, or that are a bit thicker, or kind of difficult to blend into the skin, that you kind of find yourself there at the brush really trying to blend them in, and you just kind of, they're just kind of prone to streaking. This is your brush. The one thing I will say about this is that it does tend to eat foundation. So compared to flat foundation brushes, this will probably make you go through your foundation a little bit quicker, depending on which one you use. But it is really nice. I also really like using it for the MAC Full Cover Cream Foundation when I'm having like a no makeup day. I usually just kind of take this brush, get a little bit of the cream foundation on it, and just kind of pop it through my T-zone, and that'll just usually cover any rednesses. It'll usually cover any redness and blemishes and stuff like that. And another thing that this is absolutely great for is my next favourite worth the hype thing, which is the Laura Mercier mineral powder, but just mineral powder in general. I've tried this with Bare Minerals and other things like that. So it's just really great. So whether it's liquid, cream, powder, this is really good, and it's also good for contouring. That's originally why I bought it, but I haven't really used it too much for contouring because I don't really contour. So yeah, so this is the mineral powder from Laura Mercier, and first thing I thought was great about this is why one of the reasons I bought it, is because it has like one of those sifters, so not a lot of it comes out, or like none of it comes out when you don't want it to, I guess. So I just really like this because it's really light on the skin. It doesn't feel like there's very much on the skin. Like you can use a really light tinted moisturizer, but it's still, it can feel a bit like damp on your skin because it's, it was once liquid, so it's never quite, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like there's much on your skin. It doesn't feel dry like I thought a powder would. So I really like this because it's very light. It doesn't feel like there's much on the skin when you put this on, but it gives a decent level of coverage. I'd say kind of on the light side of medium. You can build it up if you want to. It's great for setting foundation if that's what you want it for. It gives really decent coverage if you want to do that. It's just really great. I really like it. It's great for summer and it wears really well. I always had some like qualms about mineral foundation when it came out and people were raving about it because I thought that, being a powder, it'd make your skin look matte, and I don't really like matte foundations. I generally tend to favour like a little bit of a glow. So it does give you a bit of a glow, and it makes your face look radiant and kind of, I guess, perfected or airbrush. I know that's kind of a YouTube beauty community cliche, but it really does make your skin look great. And like when I'm wearing this, I just feel like my skin is like prettier and just like fresher, and I don't know, it's really nice. The next thing I really like is it's another powder thing, and it is Bare Minerals Well Rested. The great thing about the Bare Minerals is that they have this, they have the twist sifter. It's like similar to the Laura Mercier one, so you can close it, and then after you use it, and it's not gonna be like loose powder chaos, like a lot of loose powders. Yeah, this is basically like a powder concealer, mineral concealer for under your eyes, but I use this to set my under eye concealer, and I'm not sure if you can tell, it's not very dark, so I would say unless you're kind of pale to medium, I think if you're anywhere from pale to medium, you'll probably get away with this, particularly because it's under the eye, and if you want a bit of brightness, if you are, say, not as fair as me, I'd say, this would still look okay. It basically does for the under eye area what this does for the rest of your face. It just gives it a nice bit of coverage, and it just sort of brightens and perfects and sets concealer, but it doesn't give like a matte powdery effect. So the next thing I'm going to talk about, it's not like one particular product. It's like a range from a brand, and it is Revlon lip products. I know a lot of people on YouTube talk about Revlon lip products and how great they are, and if you haven't tried out Revlon lip products, believe the hype. I know, like for ages people were like ranting and raving about the Revlon lip butters and stuff like that, and it was sort of a little bit of a craze for a while. The lip butters are nice, and I do really like them, but there are also other great things in the range. This one I have here is in Wild Watermelon, so it's kind of like it goes on like a nice sheer kind of cool tone red, but it's still quite vibrant. It's kind of like, it is like a watermelon-y colour, so that's really nice. I really like wearing that, especially if I'm wearing like club eyeshadow. Blended out, I think that's just really nice. Another thing I think are great are their lip glosses. This one is in Bellini. It's a really, really, really nice peach kind of nude colour. Really nice for over Barium 154, if that's your thing, if nude lips are your thing. Just, the thing I really like about this, I liked their super lustrous range of lip glosses, but I found that they were just a bit sticky or something. These stay on your lips and they're not really thin or watery, but they're not really sticky. Like, they're not super, super, super sticky, and your hair won't like stick to your lips loads and stuff like that. It's not like annoying lip gloss, but it is kind of nice and moisturizing, and it does stay on for a good length of time. And I really like the packaging as well. It's like got the whole like quilted thing going on, so it's kind of reminds me of the Chanel packaging a little bit. Another thing I really like from Revlon are their super lustrous lipsticks. This one is in Fire and Ice. It's just a really vibrant red. And I know that Lisa Eldridge talked about this in one of her videos, and she made really good point about this, that it kind of, she said that it looked different on everyone, and I can imagine that would be the case, because on me this looks like a really nice kind of warm classic red, but it's still bright and vibrant. I suppose it looks more bold than bright on me, but it still has kind of that hint of brightness. I think she said on some people it looks like a coral. Like, I think in the tube it definitely does look like a coral, a reddy kind of coral colour. But on me it looks like a nice warm red. So I think it just looks different on everyone. This is like the most pigmented lipstick I have ever used in my entire life. And it's just fabulous, fabulous formulation. It's better than any MAC lipstick I've used. It's better than any other high-end lipstick I've ever tried. It goes on really smoothly. It's not glossy, but it's not matte either. It's just kind of like a nice creamy finish. It's really great. It's not one that like bleeds through the lip line. I don't bother using a lip liner with this. If it smudges throughout the night, if I'm wearing, because I usually wear this at night time, I just get like a little bit of concealer and tracer on the outside of my lips. But it's just really great, very long wearing, and just fabulous. And I really like the packaging as well, because I also like the history behind this. I think my mom said my grandma used to wear this. I think she had a tube of this back in the day, in the 60s. So I don't know, I thought that was pretty cool as well. And then you also have the lip crayons, and this one is in Rendezvous. I really like this. It's like a nice kind of orangey red colour, and it's just really easy to apply, and it lasts for a long time. So I like the lip butters as like kind of a nice way to do colour during the day, because they're less high maintenance than something like this would be. You don't have to worry about it kind of smudging all over your face or transferring, onto your clothes or someone else's clothes or anything like that. Yeah, so that was my products worth the hype video. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again soon.